All right, greetings from my house. I look like horrible today. I just had that car wreck yesterday and I'm feeling awful. So I'm not going to show my face, okay? But anywho, I have been diligently working on my little guy here. And I'm down to the last part now, so I'm ready to show you guys how to color. Now, I am doing exactly what the dude on the video did, except not even as good as him. So if you really, really want to know how to do this, you can learn from the real expert, which is the guy in the video, or you can learn from yours truly. Now, let's start with this. First of all, what you're doing is, damn it, you got to use the pen tool again. That's right. You got to go back to the pen tool once again and do another selection. Okay. So you're going to go, oh, and this is so important. Oh my God. I don't know how many times this has happened to me, but when you click on a point like that, not always, but sometimes it'll delete the point. And that seems like no big deal. You'll find the eraser tool does that too. It'll delete a point. And once you've deleted the point, the whole section just like mutates. And sometimes it just disappears. So what I've been doing is pushing shift whenever I need to connect to an old point. Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot. Really important. First, you got to make a layer. Okay. Always make a new layer. So I went to create a new layer and I called that layer my colors layer, which is exactly what Joe Bob on the video did. And real quick, if you haven't noticed, every single selection I make, now there is a tiny little sub layer that has all those in it. And it's happened a few times where I've had to go in and delete one of those layers and redo it. And it's nice to have all those little pieces in separate pieces. You'll also see that the layer that has my line, my outline, also has all these little tiny separate pieces. So I've actually been able to undo certain work by going back and trashing sections that weren't right. So even though there's no history palette, you do have that every time you make a path. It's a new layer. Also, I went ahead and locked all the other layers so that no matter what, I'm going to be on this layer for sure. Okay, so back to pen tool. First of all, always zooming in all the time, zooming in. And even though, yes, you have to redo all this again with the pen tool, remember it's not going to be as difficult this time because it doesn't need to be as perfect. So I'm going to push shift. I'm going to go like this and I'm going to re-pen tool this baby. As long as your new path is like hidden inside of the old path, then you're good to go. Now, right now, you might see a new line forming. There's a couple of different lines that might form. You might see a fill coming. You can see it popping up on mine. Don't worry about it yet. It's guessing that you are selecting things on the left side of the line when in fact you're not, but it won't matter until you close the path. Two, you can see my stroke under appearance there is set to nothing, and your stroke might default to black. So you might be seeing another line pattern. If that's the case, you can push escape. You can go over there and change that stroke to nothing, or you can change it at the end, if whichever way you want to do. So I am just going to keep on going down. I'm going to try to keep, even if the line's not perfect, like I said, as long as it's inside of your previous line drawing, you're good. That means you're coloring literally in the lines. Oh, wait, you know what? Good opportunity to show you something. I don't want to go up there because I want both sides of the loincloth to be the same. So I'm going to go back to this point and I'm going to push delete. Then I'm going to push shift, pick it up again on this point and start moving down again. And yeah, it's starting to fill and it looks weird, but it's going to be okay. You'll see the more you enclose your shape the way you want it to be, the more the fill is doing what you want it to do. And remember, if you make a huge, like if you just click on something and something crazy happens, just push escape, get your tool out of there. And I'm pushing shift again right here just in case because I don't want to delete that line. And just do edit undo quickly and it'll come back. Now I can tell this is actually a really good opportunity because I can tell that one thing I did here is I selected the entire loincloth, which I didn't want to do. I actually wanted that part of his belt to be independent from that. So, this is a good time to talk about how to, correct a mistake. But before I do that, I'm going to push escape, get this tool out of here, and go over here. How do you change the colors? So in this case, I had already set it to this color. One thing I'm going to do, which I've done with all my colors, is I make a little box and fill it, because there is this tool over here called the eyedropper tool, that you can basically sample any of the colors anywhere and you can fill it in the new space that you're in. So how do you do that? Let's say I don't want this to be that color. I'm going to go up to, I can get a new color over here. For one thing, you've got all of these colors here, right? Of which there are many. You can also click here and you can really customize your color and, have different tints and shades, all that kind of stuff, and really just kind of pick any color you want. You can do that. So once you've picked a color that you've liked, how do you make this thing turn to that color? Now, remember, down here under colors, you've got all these paths, right? And each one is separate. So right now, the path that I just made for this loincloth is right here, right? So one thing I discovered is that this eyedropper tool won't change the color of it unless I am selected on the right thing. So one thing I did is I click right here on this like circly thing, and you can see I get these like pathways that show up. And making sure that I'm on the eyedropper tool, I'm going to go up and just sample one of my other colors. But remember, any color you sample will work the same way. Oh, whoops, wait. Look, oh my God, undo eyedropper. Okay, so there. That's so great. I just made a totally classic mistake. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. You know what I did is I selected all of these color layers, didn't I? And I don't want all of the color layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock it, unlock it, because that seems to reset it. And then I'm just going to push on this one. And that one should be the loincloth. Let me see. It is, I think. All right, so eyedropper, let's go up and choose that color again. And actually, you can choose the color from anywhere on here, I believe. So now it's pink. And now it's turned the loincloth pink. So, actually it's good I made that mistake, because now I can show you. If you click this circle, it changes the color of everything. If you click just this one, then it's going to be just the path of that particular object, which, by the way, if you're confused about which object is which, you can, you can turn them off and on with the eyeball. And that's a great way to figure it out. So going forward, though, I don't want that to be that color. So I'm going to go back up here with my eyedropper and change it back to the light brown. I've got to click on this again. Hang on. And remember, if you guys are struggling, that's normal. It's normal. And I believe, honestly, that the things that I've learned by this enormous amount of time I've spent doing this will forever change the way that I interact with this program. I think I'm literally teaching myself how to use this program just by making all these mistakes. And you will too. So, okay, going back up here. I don't like that. I want that. And I'm going to go back to my colors. I'm not going to go to these paths. I'm going to go up here, because I want, hang on, I'm going to lock it again and unlock it. Because I want to change that one little section. So there's different ways. It looks like in the video he shows you how to actually erase portions, like how to remove portions from a path. But so far, I've just been, I don't know, just making a new one on top of it. So, just reselecting, keeping inside the black line. As long as you're inside it, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm coming back around, so I got to re-click. And now I'm going to command minus. I'm going to go up here and find, because I want it to match. He's a matching outfit, right? I want it to match the brown of his little ankle things. And I think this is it right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the eyedropper. I'm going to go down here and make sure I'm on the right path, which, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, you know what? I think it'll still work. I really do. All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna do my eyedropper. I think it's this one. Is it? Maybe it's a darker brown. Let me see. Let's see. Ah, I didn't save all my colors. See, that's like a chestnut brown, okay? That's not right. There we go. Okay, now how do I get rid of that? I'm going to go back up to pen tool. I'm going to click once. I'm going to delete, and that always seems to work for me. And then command negative. Now I have flatted out, I suppose you could say, my colors. So next steps are going to be me adding highlights. No, I'm going to add shadows first and then highlights, which I'm going to follow the video, just like the guy said to. So that is it for the coloring part. Like I said, shadows will be in the next video.